like, comment, and subscribe for more content. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this edition of a Funko Podcast. I'm DK Wrestler.
And I'm MD Shady.
And in today's edition, we got lots to talk about. We got day 3 of Emerald City Comic-Con exclusive reveals, which I thought there was going to be a day 4 also, which I kept saying last week, but there ended up only being a day 3, and then they shared where each pop is going to, which we'll be talking about later. Plus, we got a lot of GameStop exclusive pops to talk about, which there are quite a bit of good ones that are being announced, and even a very sweet comic moments that we're going to talk about later on in the podcast. But we're going to kick off with the one Funko Shop exclusive along with the GameStop exclusives. And actually, there's going to be a Disney Parks exclusive and a Fanatics exclusive that we're going to talk about here. So starting off, announced on February the 12th and released that same day at 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. EST on the Funko Shop is a Pillsbury Doughboy pop with a heart, like a heart candy that says "Be Mine." Then the GameStop exclusives. So first we have 2 pops from the movie Predator, which we have a Predator, and we have ourselves an Alan Dutch Schaefer pop, followed by 2 Rick and Morty pops, which one is Gamer Rick and the other is Morty with Laptop, which I should have mentioned that the Predator pops are expected to be released as early as March 2020. Rick and Morty pops are expected to be released as early as March 2020. But these next couple are going to be April 2020 releases, which this one is Fox from the video game Persona 5. That's going to be EB Games / GameStop exclusive, and one that I talked about a little bit on Monday's video, which if you watched, that is the top 10 predictions of New York Toy Fair reveals. It is the Stanley Hudson with Pretzel from the Office lineup. Then we got ourselves here a Disney Parks exclusive 10-inch Indiana Jones pop, and will be released on February 29th. Then, last but not least for this section, we have ourselves here a Fanatics exclusive Sidney Crosby with alternate jersey, which that is available now. Pillsbury Doughboy with heart. I think this is a cool little feature. I feel like, though, I don't know why they released it February 12th rather than on Valentine's Day on February 14th. I find that kind of weird in my opinion. Even the shipping doesn't come in like 2 days when you order a Funko Shop exclusive, if that's what they were thinking of or why they were going to release it early. This is okay. This is the 3rd Pillsbury Doughboy, I believe, because there is the original one that was in the Funko Christmas bundle from 2018. And then we have the Emerald City Comic-Con pop from last year that holds the Shamrock cookie that was shared to the Funko Shop. So it makes sense that this would be a Funko Shop exclusive, and they keep continuing doing Pillsbury Doughboy. It's an ad icon, so assuming that this is going to be a pretty decent seller. Then the Predator pops, so I don't know what's on like Predator's armor, like the blue stuff, but when I looked at Alan Schaefer, at first I was thinking like, man, this pop looks exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then for some reason, like hours after I seen this, I'm like, wait, Arnold was in Predator. And I forgot about it, and I'm like, wow, I kind of feel dumb right now. But especially the fact that even without even looking at the box, I could tell that it's Arnold Schwarzenegger with the hair and everything. So clearly, this is a pretty good pop if I can tell that this is Arnold Schwarzenegger without even having the character's name on the box, or even the box at all. Then the Rick and Morty pops. Gamer Rick looks pretty cool. Clearly, judging by the mask that he has on, he's playing virtual reality. And I can't remember exactly whether this was a season in the past or if it was from season 4. I don't know why I can't think of off the top of my head of where this exact scene was from. I feel like it might have been season 4 though, but I'm going to have to rewatch those episodes to see where I can nitpick this out. The Morty with Laptop, I think I remember this was like one of the first episodes of season 4. This looks pretty cool. I mean, I like the sculpt of him like sitting down, crisscross applesauce, and that's pretty cool. I'm sure that Rye the Pop guy is going to want to cop out these pops, and even, I don't know if he has the 10-inch Rick yet, which I know our local EB Games just got a couple of those 10-inch Ricks in, which, not bad. Then the Persona 5 Fox pop. This looks pretty cool. I like the detail involved with the mask that this character is wearing and the swords that there are there. And the whole attire is pretty cool too. Stanley Hudson from The Office with his pretzel, amazing. This is my favorite Stanley Hudson moment where it's pretzel day in the building that Dunder Mifflin Company is in, and that there's a huge lineup for a pretzel downstairs. And the one added detail I really like is that Stanley is holding his like Sudoku, I forget what it is, Sudoku.
Mhm.
Yeah, Sudoku like book that he has because I know he plays Sudoku a lot in this series, and just him with a pretzel, that's just amazing, and I can't wait to get my hands on this pop, especially because it is at our closest retailer to us. The 10-inch Indiana Jones pop. Now, you guys probably would have already known that they had announced a 10-inch metallic Indiana Jones pop for Emerald City Comic Con Day 3 reveals, but I didn't find out about this one until after the reveals were over, and I thought, man, I hope they make a regular version, and I'll explain why later on. But I think this looks pretty cool from what I'm looking at right now. I think the details are very great, and even like I think it's called the idol that he's got in his hand. That's cool also. Then last but not least, we have the Fanatics exclusive Sidney Crosby. I really like this jersey, to be honest. Like, I like this jersey better than, like, the home jersey and the away jersey. I think the yellowish, goldish color looks very nice on this pop. I think my little only gripe about this, though, is, like, how the gloves are all yellow. I don't really like that. I wish it was kind of like the Fanatics exclusive Alex Ovechkin that's available now also on Fanatics.com, in that it's more than one color. Like you can see, like I think there's like the black on the bottom of the glove, and like there's like blue and red on the top of the glove. I wish it was kind of like that. Like maybe even like add a black into it, or maybe add white to it also, because that's on the jersey. But overall, I definitely need to get this pop, and who knows, maybe while I'm at it, I'm gonna purchase myself the Sidney Crosby with alternate jersey, and at the same time I could pick up MD, the Alex Ovechkin Fanatics exclusive, because I know he still needs that pop.
Yeah, that I'd be very grateful for. Of course, that is going to be one of my favorite hockey pops and Ovechkin pops for that matter. It does look really good, and what you said about the gloves makes complete sense. With these gloves, I don't know if this is completely accurate because maybe their gloves are completely yellow when they use this jersey, right? The alternative jersey. But yeah, these gloves, it looks like this is like a prototype figure almost. Like, not the figure itself, but just the gloves, like where there's no paint on them anywhere, and maybe that's just because Ovechkin's the superior hockey player. I don't know. Overall, this is a great Sidney Crosby pop. I'm still yet to pick up any Sidney Crosby pops, and I think now that this one's out, maybe I could start a collection of Sidney Crosby pops. Now, an interesting thing with this Indiana Jones pop is you said it was scheduled for a February 29th release.
Yes.
I can possibly get my hands on this pop because my coworker, his name is Christian, he is going to Disney. I think he leaves on the 24th and he's going to be there for a week. The only thing about it, because I'm sure if I gave him some money and he went there, he wouldn't have a problem picking up a pop for me. But this is a 10-inch pop, and I don't know how much luggage space he would have, right? So it might be kind of difficult.
Yeah, and assuming like he's gonna like fly there, or is he driving there?
He's flying.
Okay, so like assuming like especially with how heavy the pop is, like I'm pretty sure airports like only allow you to bring a certain amount of weight,
Yeah.
or else
And then
they
you
have to
gotta
charge
pay
you
extra,
more.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure if I gave him enough money, like he would probably do it for me. But I don't know. I kind of do want this pop because it looks good and kind of starting to collect 10-inch pops. I'm at two now, which is nothing compared to a lot of people. Some people have all of them. But
Top ups. Top ups.
Tristan. But yeah, this would be a cool one to add, and I think this would be like the only Indiana Jones figure that I would put in my pop collection because I currently have no Indiana Jones pops. But I do need to get one, and I feel like this is the best one that you could get for that.
Yeah, you got two more 10-inch pops than I do.
Yeah.
Which means I have none right now. Until basically Baby Yoda comes out, or the child.
Then we have Stanley Hudson, of course. Now, this is the first GameStop exclusive Office Pop. Yeah. This one's sweet. I'm definitely going to pick this up. I have some of the common Office Pops, and then I have one or two of the exclusives. This is definitely one that I'm going to have to cop out for. It's great. It looks awesome, and of course, it's a memorable moment from The Office. Then we have, what do you say, this is from Persona 5?
Yeah, Persona 5. It's Fox.
Yeah, so right when I saw this, I thought it was the Fortnite character from, I believe it's Battle Pass Season 3, if I'm not mistaken, because the mask is like almost identical. And actually, there is a pop for that
Yeah.
certain Fortnite character. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
Yeah, it looks almost
As
exactly
I
the
look
same.
at it now, it's like, yeah, that does look like that one
And
Fortnite character.
and Persona 5 has been out longer than Fortnite, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
That's weird. Maybe like they kind of copied it, like Fortnite copied this character. But that being said, it's a good looking pop. It's a cool one. I'm sure this will sell fine. Then we have Morty with the laptop. This is, of course, a GameStop exclusive again because most of these were, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This one's alright. I do like the pose that he's in with the crossed legs, and I want to see the other side of the laptop. Is it just like a blank screen, or is there something on the screen? Does like the keys look nice? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Besides that, it's a pretty basic pop, of course. Morty's a pretty basic character unless you have him in some kind of like costume or something like that, right? Like Alien Morty or whatever. Then the Gamer Rick, I actually really like this. I'm a pretty big fan of pops with VR headsets, which I currently have none, but maybe when we go to Funko Palooza next weekend, I might pick up the VR Gamer Joker Chase from that box. That's still one that I need to get and I've been searching for quite a while. So this reminds me of that pop, and this is a good one. I think this one's better than Morty, and I'm sure a lot of people would agree with that. Then the Alan Dutch Schaefer. This is a really cool looking pop, actually. I like how, I would assume it's mud that's on him.
Yeah.
It looks really good. I love how the face is molded so that it looks like there's like layers of the mud dripping down, and then you have like the blood where I would assume it's like a bloody nose, even though it's not attached to his nose.
Yeah.
For being mostly one color, this pop has, like, I would say probably an underrated amount of detail on it, and I think it looks pretty good. But the Predator, I think, looks so good. This is one of the most detailed pops we've seen so far this year, I would say. Especially the way that the metallic helmet looks, with how it looks like, I don't know the exact word for it, but it has like that texturized metal look on it.
Yeah.
And then there's the dents in the helmet, and that whatever it is, I'm not a huge fan of Predator, so I'm not sure, but I'm sure that those blue marks will look really good. And the body itself is just so much detail on the costume, all the metals, and then if you look at his like feet, how there's like the gradient effect with the colors going from like the yellow color into the brown. It just, this pop looks so great. Now, with this Pillsbury Doughboy, I'm not a huge fan of when the ad icons they make like variants. I guess some variants are pretty cool, but recently it's kind of been crappy, I'll say. We had the metallic, what was it? Those metallic four pops of like King Ding Dong
Yeah.
and all those, the hostess ones. That sucked, in my opinion. This one is actually alright. I like the Be Mine Heart, but I want to see the female, like the Pillsbury Dough girl. Now, I'm sure a lot of people don't know about this character, but this is like an older mascot, I would say, for Pillsbury, where it was basically just Pillsbury Doughboy, but instead of the chef's hat, she had like a bonnet that like Bo Peep would wear, for instance.
Yeah.
So I really want to see a pop of that. I think that'd be so cool. Instead of getting a bunch of different Pillsbury Doughboys, let's see the Pillsbury Dough girl.
So now we're going to move on right now to day 3 reveals of Emerald City Comic Con exclusive pops, which starting off, they kicked off with Disney, which a lot of people really wanted some Disney announcements, which right here we have ourselves a 3-pack of Fauna, Flora, and Merryweather from Sleeping Beauty, a Mushu riding panda pop rides from Mulan, flocked Pokemon pops of Bulbasaur and Charmander, a glow-in-the-dark Loch Ness monster from the Pop Myths lineup, and like I said earlier, and now I'm going to mention it, the metallic 10-inch Indiana Jones Funko Pop, in which this will be limited to 2,000 pieces, which means that it will be a convention-only pop. We have ourselves a Freddy Funko with Funko HQ Pop Town, a Crusader Rhett, which is basically the mascot for Emerald City Comic Con, and she will be limited to 1,500 pieces. She will be convention exclusive only, but she won't be available at the Funko booth. You can only get her at the official Emerald City Comic Con like merchandise store that will be within there. Then last but not least for these reveals, ending it off with some ad icons, we got ourselves Pez Boy as a firefighter. So starting off with the Disney pops, a lot of people were really liking these Disney announcements. Like, they like the fact that Funko for these conventions are bringing like characters we never thought would be made into a Funko Pop form,
Yeah.
like the fairy godmothers we have here. These look pretty cool. I mean, I'm probably not going to get them just because I'm not the biggest fan of Sleeping Beauty, but I know a lot of people are hyping up really huge for this Mushu riding panda. These still look pretty cool, and I think these are going to be some pretty decent sellers. The flocked Pokemon Pops. Now, no joke, after we recorded last week's podcast, which had day 2 reveals, I knew about Bulbasaur from the rumors that were happening, and I literally thought to myself, I have this weird feeling that for like San Diego Comic-Con, we're going to get like a flocked Charmander. But when I was looking at these reveals, all of a sudden, boom, there it is, flocked Charmander, along with the flocked Bulbasaur. I like in these glam shots that they actually show that they're flocked and not just copy like an old glam shot that they did and just write that it's flocked. You can see within Charmander at least, I can tell like just by looking at it that it's flocked. I hope that pulling off this flocked pop, they don't make the flame flocked. Just keep that a plastic.
I don't think they're gonna. It doesn't look like it's flocked by the picture, so yeah, it wouldn't make any sense to make that flocked.
But yeah, it's just like, now as I think about it, it's like I hope that this is going to be the end of making like every single Pokemon pop flocked. And I hope, which I kind of wish they did this with the Pokemon pops, is that they make the Pokemon pops, like you can do a different variant, but don't make them all flocked. Make it for what makes sense. So like in a lot of people's cases, they hated the fact that you got basically reptiles. They would be more scaly and not flocked. Like, the only one that's made sense so far for these flocked Pokemon pops is the flocked Pikachu.
Yeah.
Squirtle didn't make sense because Squirtle's like a turtle, and that doesn't really make sense. And these two don't really make sense. So I wished what they had done was like, let's say, Pikachu could have been flocked. You could probably make Pikachu all the different variants. Glow in the dark, flocked, metallic.
Yeah.
Both of these, I think, should have been metallic in my opinion. And I feel Eevee they can have flocked, but with the upcoming Pokemon pops that are coming out, just please don't make all of them flocked. Maybe Pichu, because that would make sense that it's the pre-evolution of Pikachu, but don't make Mewtwo flocked, because that would look way better as metallic or like chrome, like not one single color chrome, just the actual like chromeness to it. That's what I think they should do. Like, this should be the end after basically Eevee of making all these Pokemon pops flocked. Then the glow-in-the-dark Loch Ness Monster. This looks pretty cool from the glam shot, but I don't know how it's going to turn out realistically. And I forgot to also mention that Loch Ness Monster will also be only 1,500 pieces, and it is basically convention only. The metallic Indiana Jones. Now, I'm going to bring up my point about the common, even though it's an exclusive. I don't like the way the metallic looks on this, just because the whole thing is metallic. I feel like, realistically, in my opinion, the only thing that should really be metallic from this attire is the idol that is in his hand. That's what I feel like should have been the only thing that's metallic, but at the same time, you're making something metallic for only one little thing. I guess it does look cool for the sense that it brings out the attire more, like you can see the brown very well with this metallic look. But I don't know, I just feel like the common, in my opinion, would look cooler than the metallic looks right now. The Freddy Funko with Funko HQ Pop Town. Now, when I seen this, I felt like I've lost a couple of IQ points. Not because I'm saying I hate this. I'm saying I lost a couple IQ points because I can't believe that I never thought that this could have been a thing that Funko made. Like, just sitting around one day thinking, oh, I wonder what future Pop Towns that Funko could make. Maybe they'll make one of Freddy Funko with the Funko HQ building. And now it's like, damn, this looks wicked. You got Freddy Funko with basically an attire if he was working at Funko HQ, and he's holding 2 of the Funko HQ bags. And the building looks awesome too, which I can understand that they didn't add like the big statues that they have within the building, probably because of like licensor approvals and stuff. But overall, like the way this looks awesome, and I think that eventually I have this weird feeling either it's going to be next San Diego Comic-Con or this one. I can see them making a Freddy Funko with Funko Hollywood.
Of course.
Pop Town. But either way, like, if you're a super hardcore Funko collector, and I guess if you have a P.O. box in the States or live in the U.S., I recommend getting this because this is absolutely awesome. Great job, Funko. The Crusaderette It looks alright. It just looks like a very generic, like, DC superhero pop from, like, 2010, 2011. Like, I feel like I'm back in 2010 looking at this kind of pop, because it kind of got, like, that minimal detail of what the DC pops used to look like. I understand that actually makes sense because in the Emerald City Comic Con logo, you do have Crusaderette flying, or some years actually they do have Crusader, which is the male version of the mascot for Emerald City Comic Con. But this looks all right. I'm kind of glad that a pop like this is limited in my case because I don't really care about it, so I don't have to worry about trying to find this pop and possibly paying a bunch of money on eBay. Then the Pez Boy with the Firefighter outfit. This looks pretty cool. I'm assuming whoever has the Pez lineup is probably going to want this just to complete it. And the one thing someone mentioned in a video, and now I cannot like unsee it, is that the ears look like thumbs.
Yeah.
Someone pointed that out and I just started laughing. Like I'm like, damn, that actually does look like thumbs. And I can't unsee it. It's like, oh my, but this still looks like a pretty cool pop though. So
Yeah, this is a cool pop. I'm loving the Pez lineups, and this is such a great pop to add to that lineup. And it is funny with the thumb ears, of course. It kind of reminds me of the thumb people from Spy Kids.
I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on.
You don't remember the thumb people, really?
It's been that long since I've seen Spy Kids.
Oh, Spy Kids is so great. Such a great series of movies. But yeah, it reminds me of that. But I think it's still a great pop, and it needs to be in this Pez set because, of course, it's an iconic pop. Or Pez character, sorry. Now, with the Crusader, yeah, it's pretty minimalistic of a pop. With this pop being limited, I feel like one of the only reasons why you'd want this pop anyways is because, like, if you're at the con and you pick this pop up, it's because, like, that basically shows, like, hey, I was at this con. This is the mascot of the con. That was a point in my life where I went and did something, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a memorable thing that you can look back on. So, like, not going to the con, like, there's really no reason, in my opinion, that you would need this pop unless you were actually at the con. So, I think it's good that it's limited to, what was it, 1,500 pieces?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great job with that pop, for sure. And then the Funko HQ. This is awesome. I really need to get this Pop Towns. It looks so good. Of course, it's like, yeah, why didn't we think of that? That makes so much sense. Why would they not do it? They don't even have to license anything to do it. Great job, Funko. Now, I have some gripes with this metallic Indiana Jones 10-inch pop. The first one is that, yeah, do we really need this as a metallic 10-inch pop? And then the second gripe is that it's limited, right, to 2,000 pieces?
Yeah.
So now that means there's so many people that collect full collections of these 10-inch pops. Now only 2,000 people can have a full collection of 10-inch pops. And that, like, blows my mind. Of course, some people are going to have to say, hey, that one's not going to be part of my collection. I'm going to get the common and still count it as a full collection, right?
Yeah. And it also sucks because it's limited to 2,000 pieces and the convention spans 4 days, realistically, they can only give out 500 a day.
Oh, really? They got to do it that way,
I'm
eh?
pretty sure that's how it even was when we went to Fan Expo 2 years ago and they did that. If it was limited to, let's
Yeah.
say, 1,000 pieces, only 250 can be sold per day.
Yeah, that sucks, especially if you're going to a convention for one day and not going for the full
Yeah,
weekend.
especially like if you sign up for the Funko lottery, which I think is actually still going on right now until the 23rd, I believe, and like you get accepted to go to the Funko booth. It's not like you can go throughout the 4 days. They give you a specific day and a specific time
Really?
that you have to be there for.
Yeah, that really sucks. That puts a sour taste in my mouth. So let's move on. We got another 1,500 piece pop, the Loch Ness Monster. I hope this one turns out great. Of course, not going to be getting this pop. But I think that it has a potential to look really nice for the glow in the dark. And then we have Flocked, Charmander, and Bulbasaur. I got a lot of things to say about this. First thing is that hats off to Funko for stealing my money, basically. They're taking this money from me. The first thing I thought when I saw these is, I'm not going to get these. And then the second thing I thought was, but I do plan on getting that box with the flocked Pikachu and the flocked Squirtle. Why wouldn't I have these? So now I kind of have to buy them. And I don't know if that's because I'm crazy or if it's because I want them, because I don't really want them, but I feel like I need to get them. So in that aspect, good job, Funko. You got my money. But why? Why are we seeing these pops flocked? Makes no sense. Maybe like chrome pops for these Pokemon pops would be alright. Metallic, okay. Let's see a flocked Eevee. That'd be great. Yeah, like there's so many things that you could do for variants of these Pokemon Pops. We can have shiny colors of these Pokemon, which I think would be so much better than these flocked ones. Even get rid of flocking Pokemon in general and just give us a shiny version as a chase. That would be awesome. Or let's say you get like eventually, I'm assuming eventually we'll see a Magnemite Pop. Make that metallic. That makes so much
Oh.
sense to be metallic, right? Do stuff like that. You need to be a good fan service for one of the biggest fandoms in the world, Pokemon. Then the Disney Pops. I don't have a lot to say about these, but they are alright. I think, of course, the Mushu riding the panda is the better out of the two. I'm gonna count this as two pops because it's a 3-pack and that single pop. Is this a pop rides?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. That it's a cool pop.
All right, so now moving on, we're going to talk about where everything is being shared to, because I think that's also very important to know so that you plan ahead of time of which places you're going to first. So first I'm going to talk about the con-only Funko Pops. Obviously, as you may know, the metallic 10-inch Indiana Jones will be only available at the con since it's only 2,000 pieces. The Gustav and Zero Grand Budapest Motel, or Hotel, whoops, I think that was 1,500 pieces, so it's only con exclusive. And then technically the Crusaderette is also a con exclusive pop, except it won't be available at the Funko booth, as I mentioned. It will only be available at the ECCC merchandise booth, limited to 1,500 pieces. Then, going to Amazon will be the Sleeping Beauty 3-pack, the Vegeta eating noodles, and the flocked Bulbasaur. Then going to Barnes & Noble, we have the Fleur Delacour from Harry Potter and the Three Dragons from Game of Thrones in the 3-pack. Box Lunch, they'll be getting Millhouse. Entertainment Earth will be getting the 6-inch Tanker Bug from Starship Troopers. FYE will be getting the Green Chrome Piccolo and the Triclops Pop from Masters of the Universe. Target will be getting the Seattle Supersonics Sean Kemp, the 4-inch Futura Boba Fett, and the white Doctor Doom. Walgreens will be getting the Gambit with Staff. Walmart will be getting the Dwight Schrute as Recyclops and Flocked Charmander. Then basically our closest retailer to us, EB Games/GameStop, will be getting the Thanos with detachable hand, the Slime Pit He-Man, and the Gelatinous Cube Pop. Hot Topic will be getting the Zatanna from the DC lineup, the Mushu riding Panda Pop Rides, the Nymphadorus Tonks from Harry Potter, and the Glow in the Dark Perfect Cell from Dragon Ball Z. For the Funko shop, they'll be having the Glow in the Dark Great Gazoo, the Green Troll, Toad, the Flocked Harry the Husky, Pez Boy as Firefighter, the Speed Racer with Trophy, and the Pop Town of Freddy Funko with Funko HQ, and also, even though it's 1,500 pieces, only available at the Funko HQ in Everett, Washington, will be the 1,500 piece glow in the dark Loch Ness Monster, which means if you're going to Funko HQ, you will also be able to get the Funko Shop exclusive pops because they always do that whenever a Funko Shop drop happens. They always bring them to either Funko Hollywood or Funko HQ. But in this case, also, if you're looking for the Loch Ness Monster, you have to go to HQ if, let's say, you're from the Los Angeles area and you're used to going to Funko Hollywood. Then you would only be able to get the Funko Shop exclusives there. You can't get the Loch Ness Monster at Funko Hollywood. So the last Funko Pops we are going to talk about in today's podcast, starting off, we have here a Box Lunch exclusive glow-in-the-dark Venomized Thanos, which will be a part of a Pop and Tea combo, which that is available now. Then the next two are some previews exclusive Marvel Pops, which the first one we have here, which both of them do have their own kind of separate comics, in which those are sold separately. We have ourselves Punisher War Machine, which that's expected to be released as early as April 2020. And another previews exclusive pop, we have a Pop Comic Moments of Spider-Man vs. Venom, and that's expected to be released as early as March 2020. A Pink Chrome Majin Buu, which this will be an FYE exclusive, and it's coming soon. However, I will mention something about this while I talk about this pop. And announced today as we record this podcast, which is February 18th, we have ourselves, and I hope I don't butcher these names, but I probably will. We have Drizzt Do'Urden and Gwen Highwar 2-pack from Dungeons and Dragons, which that's going to be an EB Games slash GameStop exclusive, and that is expected to be released as early as May 2020. The last pop that we will talk about is a Pop and Tea combo with a glow-in-the-dark Cyclops, which will be exclusive to EB Games slash GameStop, but this has been appearing recently at ThinkGeek stores, so technically this pop and tea combo is available now. So the Thanos glow-in-the-dark pop, the Venomized pop, this looks alright. I mean, I know that the only thing that glows in the dark in this case is, I'm pretty sure, the white that glows in the dark, if I'm not mistaken. We're not looking at exactly what it looks like glow in the dark right now. It's just what was shown in the video provided by Box Lunch. The detail is pretty good with the tongue and the teeth. The outfit is alright. Then we got these previews exclusive Marvel pops, which Punisher War Machine looks very, very cool. I love the detail that's involved with this pop. Punisher's been a very popular character, and War Machine is actually one of like my favorite characters in like the MCU, and I feel is super underrated. So you kind of have Punisher mixed with War Machine to make one comic book character, and I think this looks really cool. I think this would be pretty cool if you had it like a glow in the dark variant, maybe have like the eyes glow in the dark. That's probably the only thing that would glow in the dark, so I guess it's better off just to not make it glow in the dark, but either way, this looks really cool. But this one is very, very great, and that is the Spider-Man vs. Venom pop comic moments, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first pop comic moment that we have gotten. Actually, now as I think about it, it might not be, because there may have been some like DC ones, if I'm not mistaken. But this looks very, very cool. I love the whole like metallic detail. I think these pops are metallic just because the way especially Venom looks. Venom looks very, very cool. He doesn't have his tongue out though, which is kind of an aspect of Venom. Overall, this looks very awesome, and you can even see the expression in Spider-Man's face, even though he's wearing a mask, that he's kind of hurt from whatever Venom has done. And you got even the ground that's kind of like pushed in because like Spider-Man got hit through it or whatever. The Pink Chrome Majin Buu now. This is where I was going to go with the whole thing that I mentioned earlier, is that this is actually available now basically everywhere besides the United States. This has appeared in Canada at Toys R Us, because Top Pops found it in one of his recent YouTube videos. I actually heard from a person in Spain who commented on our Instagram post about this, saying that Spain has gotten it, and I guess like I think basically everywhere else, because I heard that like some people in England and all parts of Europe have gotten this, so I figured this actually may be available everywhere else besides the US, which for international fans, I think it's very refreshing, because it's always hard when a Funko Shop exclusive gets released and we can't get it because they only ship in the US. Now, it's taken a while for the US to actually get a pop for once, which, like I said, is kind of refreshing. But onto the actual pop itself, it's a chrome pop. You can kind of see the detail within, but at the same time, chrome pop, not really all that detailed. Then the Dungeons and Dragons 2-pack, and I'm just going to say that because those names were very hard for me to pronounce. I think it's Duritz, the guy on the left, looks pretty cool. I don't recall seeing purple eyes on a pop before, so this is very, I guess, once again, refreshing to see. He's got this cool white hair, and even the attire is very detailed. I notice how, if I'm not mistaken, one of his swords has got like a gold blade, and the other has like a silver blade, which I guess that's also cool. And then I'm just going to call it this like Black Panther of sorts, even though Black Panther is a Marvel hero. But this Panther that we got here looks pretty cool also. It's got the detail within the teeth. It's got like yellowy eyes, like not like the evil orangey eyes that you usually see in like evil pops, but they could be like yellowy eyes because maybe it's not. I don't know Dungeons and Dragons all that much, so maybe this is not an evil character. I don't know. But overall, I'm sure that there are people who are going to get this, especially with the recent announcement of Gelatinous Cube. Now there's more Dungeons and Dragons pops pumping up. And then the last pop, the glow-in-the-dark Cyclops. The glow looks very good on here. I like how it's the yellow and the red that glows in the dark. I think yellow is such a nice vibrant color, and this looks very good when glow in the dark. The red is okay. The shirt I'm looking at here, it looks alright. and the box is also alright. I can't decide which part of the pop and tee combo is the better part, whether it's the pop, the box, or the shirt.
Yeah, fair enough. If I'm going to give my opinion on that, I think that the box is very good. It's basically supposed to look like an original X-Men figure like package that you'd see like hanging on a shelf, right? You can kind of see like where the pop is,
Yeah.
quote unquote. There's like a plastic bubble there. I'm sure it's not actually there. It's just what it looks like. But yeah, the glow on this thing looks like it's going to be pretty decent. And like you can even see like on the bottom of the pop's chin and on the floor, you can see just how vibrant it is, and that's going to be sweet. I might consider getting this pop, especially if it's a GameStop exclusive. The t-shirt is alright, though. I kind of just wish that it was a single pop on its own glow-in-the-dark, because I don't think I'd ever really wear that t-shirt. It's an alright t-shirt, but it's nothing great by any means. The Dungeons & Dragons pops, these are pretty cool. The purple face is kind of weird, but I think it looks good with the white hair. And then the outfit kind of just looks like one that you'd see with like maybe Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings. And then I'm going to call it a panther. Or not a panther, a jaguar.
Yeah, that could make more sense.
It's alright. It's a cool looking pop, I guess, but pretty basic, I guess. Majin Buu, Chrome Pop. Don't really have much of an opinion on this, but if I ever seen it out in the wild, I'd potentially pick it up for a decent price. Wouldn't really overpay for this pop, but it's alright. I kind of like the pink color. This Comic Moments Spider-Man and Venom, this is sweet. I love the face on Venom, and I'm kind of actually happy that there was no tongue hanging out with this pop, because I don't think it really needs it, and it'd be kind of weird. It'd almost look like Venom was like licking Spider-Man since their faces are already so close together. So from what I'm seeing here with this pop is it kind of looks like Spider-Man is metallic, but then it almost looks like Venom is like a chrome pop in a sense, like a black chrome. Because he just looks so much shinier than the Spider-Man. I don't know if that's just because of the black or what, but I think this thing's going to look sweet, and I definitely plan on picking this up. And the Punisher War Machine, this is pretty cool. I've never heard of this character combination before, so it's pretty cool. I'd agree that a glow-in-the-dark version would be cool, whether it's the skull on his chest and maybe the white on his face there, or if it's just the eyes. I still think a glow-in-the-dark version would be pretty sweet. I do like that pop. It's got a nice pose. A lot of detail in there, even though it's just silver. And I could see, even on his leg, it looks like there's more, like, skulls, which is pretty good small detail there, so that's pretty cool. And then the Venomized Thanos glow-in-the-dark. This is alright. This is one of my least favorite Venomized pops, honestly, because it just looks kind of weird. Like, he kind of looks like he's in, like, a sailor outfit. There's just like two colors going on, whereas with some of the other Venomized pops, you have like other colors bleeding through, and it kind of looks more like it's Venomized rather than Thanos is going out for Halloween as Venom.
That is going to be the end of this week's podcast. Now, next week's podcast is going to be a pretty big podcast because we got two major segments happening. When this podcast, as we record this, when this gets released, which will be February 21st, it should be New York Toy Fair reveals. Now, unfortunately, we can't talk about that this week because we are filming this on a Tuesday, days before the announcements are supposed to happen. But next week's podcast is going to feature New York Toy Fair reveals, and it will feature the top 10 Funko Pops of February 2020, which I can't wait for that. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you smash that like button. Comment in the comments section below on what your favorite pop of this past week was. Let us know. Do you like that Comic Moments? Do you not like that Comic Moments? Let us know. Press the subscribe button for more content like this podcast and other videos in the future. And press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, thank you all for listening to this podcast, and see you guys next week. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
Peace in, peace out.